are extremely excited to welcome our next preeminent speaker, who is an IAS officer of the 1996 batch Maharashtra cadre, the youngest incumbent of each of the assignments he has held with a huge passion for nation building. He is widely respected as the project man of Maharashtra. Most of the notable projects of Maharashtra, especially the Mumbai Metropolitan Region, bear his signature. From the Mumbai Coastal Road project to the Mumbai Trans-Harbour Link, from the metro projects in MMR to the suburban railway projects and the Navi Mumbai International Airport, he has been one of the guiding forces resolving various issues and making the project move full steam ahead. He has been a trailblazer wherever he has served. Very recently, the Mumbai Trans-Harbour Link, also known as the Atal Setu, was completed under his leadership 9 months before schedule and commissioned by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. Under his leadership, MMRDA has become the largest special planning authority of the country, along with being the country's largest and one of the biggest amongst the development authorities of the world. One of the driving forces in the management of COVID-19, he's a nationally and internationally acclaimed officer. His awards include recognition from UNESCO, the British Commonwealth, FIFA, the Government of India, and the Government of Maharashtra, in addition to many from various social organizations. His hobbies include singing, golfing, and reading. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome with a huge round of applause the highly acclaimed visionary, the Metropolitan Commissioner of MMRDA, and the project man of Maharashtra, Dr. Sanjay Mukherjee. Can we have a huge round of applause for him?
Thank you, friends, and thank you, Motilal Oswal ji and the Motilal Oswal Group for giving me this opportunity to address this Global Investors Conference. Friends, many of you would be from Mumbai, and many of you would be aware of the various developments that's happening in Mumbai. Mumbai is a very interesting city. It has historically developed as very differently from the rest of the country. It was an island which nobody knew. It was an island which the Portuguese took from the, from the local rulers and put it under some sort of management. It was an island which went from the Portuguese to the British, not by war, but by a dowry. And then the British developed Mumbai very separately from the other places that they developed. Therefore, it has one of the oldest customs houses in the country. It has the oldest port in the country. It has the oldest economic administrative system in the country. And right from then, it has led the financial and the economic growth of India, or has played an enormously big role here. Interestingly, historically, Mumbai was captured by the British, Maharashtra was captured by the British at the end. And this was ruled independently, separate from the political developments that were happening in India in those times. So therefore the trade and commerce, in fact all the way up to China, Middle East, West Asia, etc., that Mumbai used to do at that time through the sea route, that continued, and therefore that gave Mumbai a leg up. And as time went on, it has become the financial capital of the country, and it continues to be so. Another very interesting thing which I want to bring to everybody's notice is that unlike the New Delhi Municipal Corporation area, which is entirely funded by Government of India, the development of Mumbai is entirely funded by Mumbai and its parastatals and by the Government of Maharashtra with some contribution of Government of India. But the major contribution comes from within. So the funds, the resources in terms of manpower, the resources in terms of money, all these things are all local. And Mumbai is essentially a self-grown city, and I think that is the reason why it has been able to keep itself as the financial capital of the city. As Mumbai has been growing, and initially the city, well, it was a north-south city, 7 islands, reclamation, after reclamation, then the southern part of the city grew. As time went on, there was some change in India and in Maharashtra in 1970. And in 1970s, the government thought that it would be perhaps appropriate to decongest Mumbai as a future plan. And so they hit upon two ideas. The first idea was to create a new city in Navi Mumbai, and therefore the City and Industrial Development Corporation was formed. And that was something which was formed in 1970. And a city from Airoli to JNPT, that was the area which was conceived for the New Bombay project. And in that New Bombay project today, we have two cities. One is the city of New Bombay, and we have the city of Panvel. And we have another city which is in the making. So that is one part. In 1972, the government of Maharashtra then decided that it may be prudent to create another central business district, which can replace South Bombay, or which can prevent, or which can, help South Bombay is one business district, and another business district comes up. And therefore, it came upon this area which is called as the Bandra Kurla complex. The Bandra Kurla complex land was essentially a khar zameen. The khar zameen was again mostly reclaimed in those days. And after reclamation, we have what is 200 acres of land at BKC. And this 200 acres of land is actually the financial capital of India. And I think all Mumbaikars, all people of Maharashtra and the entire country and everybody sitting here should be very proud to know that it contributes approximately 3% of the national GDP. So 200 hectares of land is contributing, or people who work in 200 hectares of land, they control 3% of the GDP of the country. It is a figure which nowhere else in the country we can match. As MMRDA, now I will basically talk about MMRDA and what it does. That is the role that I'm handling now. So MMRDA, in 1974, it was set up. In 1974, it started this work of development of BKC. And along with that, it was appointed as a regional planning authority. So for a long time, it developed BKC, it auctioned off the plots in BKC, and then we also got in some various institutions which will attract investment, and like the Bharat Diamond Boards was set up here. It was set up here on invitation. So such kind of things were done. Later on, as a regional planning authority, its jurisdiction spread beyond Mumbai. And as a regional plan, it was like a grandfather. It used to guide the corporations as to how they should manage their planning activities, etc. As time went on, in 2008, MMRDA took a decision that we will move into the infrastructure field and we'll start building roads and bridges outside the BKC area. And that was the Mumbai Urban Infrastructure Project. And that has resulted in many bridges and roads that we see in this country, or in this city, like the JVLR, the SCLR, the Kherwadi flyover, and several others. So that happened. And with time went on, in 2015, MMRDA started the Mumbai Metro Rail project. So that was a time when this organization suddenly grew. And we took up a project of metro rails, which was 337 kilometers in length. This 337-kilometer length of metro, which was going to be attempted at a single point of time, is the largest metro rail construction attempted by any agency, any country, at any given point of time, at one single point of time. And that was at an investment of 1.5 crore. So that was a huge jump. MMRDA, by sale of plots from BKC and by giving building permissions and various other sources, was sitting on a very good cash kitty. And therefore, it decided to take up this metro project. And we took up this metro rail project of 1.5 lakh crores of 337 square kilometers. In addition, we also decided to do something else. So we took up the Atal Setu, or the Mumbai Trans-Harbour Link, which is the largest sea bridge in India, the largest sea bridge in Asia, and the 9th largest sea bridge in the world. And it connects something with that, it connects Shivdi with Navasheva, or to Chirle to be very exact. And it has got 3 interchanges before it reaches Chile. And that bridge, we started that work in 2018. And then after that, we started the studies in 2018. The work began later. There were 2 years of COVID. But we were able to complete the work in 2024, January 2024. And the Honorable Prime Minister of the country came here and inaugurated that bridge. And by that bridge, by construction of that bridge, we addressed the biggest problem that Mumbai has. The city, which is the financial capital of the country, is starved of the most basic resource, land. There is no land in this city. Number one, it is bound by the ocean. Number two, whatever land we have, most of it is affected by CRZ, or it is affected by salt pans, or it is a wetland, or they are encroached by slums. So the amount of available arable land is very less. And therefore, this Mumbai Trans-Harbour Link has done a very major thing. And that major thing is that it is connecting Mumbai to New Mumbai, and the distance time that it takes, if we stick to the speed limit of less than 80 kilometers an hour, is 20 minutes. So what used to take around 1.5 to 2 hours, that distance can now be covered by 20 minutes. It's also important to understand why New Bombay City came first and not this part. New Bombay City came first because we built two bridges in those days. One was the Airoli Bridge and one was the Vashi Bridge or the Thane Creek Bridge, because of which the northern part of the New Bombay project got access from Mumbai, and because of which the northern part of the New Bombay project, it developed first. Connectivity in those days was another challenge, and therefore, to bring out the connectivity, MMRDA and CITCO, these two organizations are the only organizations, I suppose, which tied up in the Indian Railways in those days, and we continue to have that tie-up till today. And we fund 50% of the cost of the suburban railways that happens in this place. So all the extensions of the railway that is happening, whatever 50% of the money is paid by us, and that's how we try to connect through the suburban railways. Now, the metro rail line that we have done, this is spreading over 337 kilometers. It is connecting all the way, if we see, at the south, it is connecting Kolaba. At the north, it will go all the way up to Badlapur, Virar, and beyond that to Badlapur. So that is the extent of the connectivity that it will do. And on the east-west side, there are several corridors which are of the metro which are connecting the east-west corridor. Line number 1, which is the Versova-Andheri-Ghatkopar corridor, that is already operational, and we shall be commissioning some other corridors later. Now, as time and all went on, we discovered that Mumbai is, is essentially linear. There is a lack of east-west connectivity. And therefore, we brought in a concept called as Mumbai in minutes. And that is a very challenging concept. Mumbai in minutes means from any one point in Mumbai to any other point in Mumbai, the total time period should not exceed 59 minutes. If it goes to 1 hour, then it is Mumbai in hours, and that is the situation that we do have now. So it has to be a period of Mumbai in minutes. And for that, we have conceived a system of almost 7 ring roads by building east-west corridors. I don't know if the various photographs are having that, because these were all assembled at the last moment by my team. But essentially, I'll just explain. You have the coastal road on the western side. You have the eastern freeway on the eastern side. Now, the eastern freeway is being connected to the Mumbai coastal road by means of an underground tunnel, which we called as the Orange Gate Tunnel. It will start at Orange Gate near BPT. And from Orange Gate near BPT, this road will lead you straight on to the coastal road, and you will land somewhere near the coastal road. The Marine Drive promenade, which we see today, will be widened to 12 lanes. So Marine Drive will become something like Champs-Élysées or Kartavya Path or something like that. So that is the type. Southern work from NCPA, we will take a bridge which will connect up to Cuff Parade. So you will have that connectivity as well, So that will be one. As you go further north, you will have a connectivity from Worli to Shivdi, which should be commissioned next year. So you will, from the coastal road, you get up on the Worli connector. From the Worli connector, you will directly get on this Worli-Shivdi bridge. And from there, you can come on to the Eastern Expressway. Then you can take on the MTHA, then you can go to Navi Mumbai. Further north, we have got the JVLR, then we have got the SCLR. Then we are building the Goregaon-Mulund Link Road. Then we are building the Thane-Borivali Tunnel. And a series of such kind of roads are being built on the north. So this will create rings at various levels. It will facilitate through and through traffic to take these arterial roads. And it will also facilitate the decongestion of the internal roads. Today, because of lack of that, the internal roads are being used by through and through traffic, and well, when the internal roads are used for through and through traffic, then there is a traffic jam, because the internal roads are basically meant for smaller vehicles and for slower vehicles. And when faster vehicles and slower vehicles, smaller vehicles and larger vehicles mix, then obviously the speed comes down. And if the speed comes down, then by, then the column length automatically goes up, and that's how the thing happens. Now, all these things together, these projects will all be completed in the next 2 or 3 years. So that is, these are all commissioned. They are either commissioned or they are on the way of getting commissioning. So like the Trans-Harbour Link is commissioned, certain metro lines, about 70 kilometers of metro line is already commissioned. Another 50 kilometers should be commissioned this year. So several of these projects are commissioned. Most of these projects, the work has also started. And because of this huge type of activity that is going on, so Mumbai is getting connected like never before. Mumbai just is not the municipal corporation of Greater Mumbai. It is in fact the entire MMR area as we see it. And that means that area which covers 5 districts, the Mumbai city district, the suburban district, Thane, Palghar and Raigad. So this entire area is what we see as a larger or a greater or a Mumbai Metropolitan Region. And this entire region should be connected. One more game-changing project which I think I should mention is the Mumbai Ring Road. And is the bullet train, which is known as the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train. And well, there are a lot of, the jury is pretty much open on that. But the interesting part of that is this, that the bullet train will start from BKC. There will be also another multimodal hub at Dharavi, where all modes of travel will be there. And a bullet train station will be located at BKC. From there, the next station will be at Thane. From there, the next station will be at Boisar. So the distance from Thane, or from Mumbai to Boisar will be less than 30 minutes. Which basically means that Palghar district and BKC are practically neighbors. This kind of ability, so there was, it reminds me, there was a German chancellor, his name was Otto von Bismarck. And Bismarck was accredited with the unification of Germany. And for those who know history, it's always said that Bismarck gave a speech in the parliament, in the German Bundestag, that we need the great speeches of the great questions of the time are solved not by speeches and resolutions, but by iron and blood. But the question to which was analyzed was that was it iron and blood or was it steel and iron? Because what he did, that the German constituencies were, princely states were all scattered. So what Bismarck did was that he built roads and he built rails. And thereby he connected the entire Germany as we see today. And by connecting this entire thing, he woke up the hinterland into what was happening at Berlin. And thereby, when the war happened between Germany and France, then the French were collecting their munitions when the Germans were already there in the railway, along with their army and their equipment, and they took over the areas of France that they wanted to, and they unified the France, freed it from the rule of the Austrian Empire. So similarly, in Mumbai, the biggest thing that we don't have is land, and this connectivity is enabling us to expand and get land. The other thing that we do not have, and I think that everybody will agree, is time. And well, time is something which is so crucial, and therefore these things are going to make the transport, more seamless, and they will be saving time. And the third question that comes in my mind, which comes in everybody's mind, oh my God, you are building the metro, the suburban metro line is also being extended, but what about public transport? What about buses? So the answer to that is very simple. When you make a separate bus corridor in an already congested line, then there is going to be a huge problem. But when you make a new corridor, which was not existent, and there you provide a dedicated corridor which can be a bus corridor, then that will not create a problem. In fact, it is an additional facility. So that is another thing which is proposed. As MMRDA delivers these projects to the various municipal corporations, be it the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, or be it the Thane Municipal Corporation or any other, those municipal corporations which all run their various, facilities, these various transport facilities, these transport facilities can then have dedicated bus routes. And thereby the buses will be able to ply without having a problem of traffic, and therefore buses will be on time. And therefore we can schedule our bus travel the same way we can schedule our suburban or metro rail travel. So that's the overall picture that MMRDA has been doing. And as we were doing this thing, then after I took over, then I found that what has happened is that the country has grown at something like 7% per year. But Mumbai has, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, has not grown at that same pace. It has grown at something like 6.3%. So now that's Mumbai, which, contributes 31% approximately of the taxes of the country and holds a very preeminent position, where BKC alone gives 3% of the GDP and the entire MMR gives something like 6% of the GDP. This is the importance of this area. Then something must be done to boost up all this. And therefore, MMRDA, we tied up with the Niti Aayog, and the Niti Aayog had a very good team to assist them with them. So MMRDA and Niti Aayog together have prepared a 25-year master plan for the growth and development of Mumbai. And this master plan, in fact, it's available in the internet, and we can make it available to everybody. It is a free document. And this master plan has been approved by the Maharashtra cabinet. I had the privilege of presenting it before the Honorable Prime Minister of India, and it was approved at the Government of India level as well. This master plan is a very, very simple master plan. It doesn't give broad homilies, and it doesn't talk about a larger vision statement. It simply states that we need to take Mumbai to $1 trillion economy, Mumbai itself, to $1 trillion economy by 2047. What will actually happen is that we will overshoot the $1 trillion mark, but we should, that is the minimum thing that we should aim for. That is one. Currently, our GDP is 140 billion. So that should grow to at least 300 billion. And if that is to be done, then what are the specific steps that are required for that target to be achieved? This would mean that Mumbai would have to grow at something like 9% per annum, which is a extremely ambitious target, given that we have been growing at 6.3% and the nation has been growing at something like 6.7%. And so for that, we have identified 7 growth drivers. We have identified 8 major policy shifts, and we have identified 30 projects. And if this much is done, then 30% investment comes from the public sector, 70% investment comes from the private sector, and Mumbai shall definitely reach a GDP of 300 billion by 2030, and Mumbai shall definitely achieve more than $1 trillion mark by 2047 as far as the GDP is concerned. And I just heard that the capital net worth of the capital market vis-a-vis GDP, which was 46%, is now 125%. So I'm sure that the capital markets will grow by an equal or a faster number if that happens, and therefore this will lead to a huge growth economically, all around us. As all these things are happening, so other than these transport projects, then what are we going to do, and what are these things that are being proposed? So I would like to tell you, one of the verticals is our planning vertical, and today MMRDA is the largest planning authority in the country. We have a total planning jurisdiction of 2,400 square kilometer plus. Out of which 800 square kilometers is on the southern part at Raigad district, and the rest is on the northern part in Thane district. These areas are just growing, and unless we have a planned development in these areas, then we will actually miss the bus and we will lose a lot of value. So that activity has already started, and we have already started preparing the plan for these areas. After doing the plan, the next issue comes in implementation of that plan. And as far as implementation is concerned, we have identified, we are building a whole new city where the Atal Setu lands, which is very popularly known as Tisri Mumbai or Mumbai 3.0. And that is an area of 350 square kilometers. So if we take the whole perspective in picture, then there is the Navi Mumbai SEZ, then there is a scheme called Naina of Sitco, and then there is this Kadamboli part of the New Mumbai project, which is still undeveloped. And then there is this Tisri Mumbai, which is where the Atal Setu lands, in fact, which is the most vantage position if we talk from a Mumbai perspective. When you travel from Mumbai, then you come and land there. So this total area is something like 500 to 600 square kilometers. This Tisri Mumbai alone is 326 square kilometers of size. Now, the investment that we will be putting into this area will be something like, 2 lakh crores, if I calculate it by today's terms. So that is the amount of, that is the economic value of investment that will come in the Tisri Mumbai alone. Other than that, we have identified, growth centers. So out of them, there are 10 major growth centers, then there are 10 local development centers, and these would be based on various themes. And one of the most common themes that is naturally developing in these areas is the theme of logistics. So that is one. All these things cannot be done unless there is investment. And investment has to happen both from the government side, and investment also has to come in from the private side. And I think in Mumbai, which is a financial capital, and Maharashtra, which prides itself on private sector involvement in our economy, we will definitely encourage, and we would like the private sector to be a part of it. I have attended several such events, and when we prepared the economic master plan, I would like to tell you that we have been in touch with various organizations of the private sector also, and we have taken their opinion. And our plan, therefore, envisages that about 30% investment will come from the government, but essential growth will come from the private sector. I'll give you an example. For example, if I take a small area like BKC, land dena mera kaam hai. Land mein infrastructure bana ke bhi main hi deta hu. However, I give you the land, I give you the infrastructure. That is my part of the investment. But to build in the building, that we auction the land. So the private sector comes in and builds the building. Then to run the business in that building, the private sector comes in and it runs the business in that building. So the participation of the private sector is also massive. But to raise the resources, MMRDA has done 3 things. First and foremost, we have monetized our land assets. And now the government of Maharashtra is considering handing over all the government lands in this huge jurisdiction to MMRDA, which will enable us to monetize it and raise resources for these projects. That is one. Second, we have been able to raise a line of credit and overall 5 lakh crores from various institutions. So we have a line of credit of 5 lakh crores which is available with us. Third, we have tied up with all the development financial institutions, the multilateral financial institutions. Today, we don't have any loan from the World Bank because they are too expensive for us. But we do have loans, we do take money from JICA, we do take money from the Asian Development Bank, we do take money from the NDB, and Mumbai, I would like to tell all the investors here, is in a position that it can choose among these ki hum kisse lenge. It's not that who is coming to us and then we have to take the money from him. We have the possibility of choosing among this ki hum isse lenge. So that is one. And fourthly, we have been able to raise $40 billion of foreign direct investment in the last World Economic Summit at Davos. In fact, I must tell you that MMRDA is the only parastatal agency in the entire world which has a direct memorandum of collaboration with the World Economic Forum at Davos. And therefore, the gateway to investment in this area, when it comes to FDI, somehow the road passes through BKC. So that's how it is. So overall, we have raised about, domestic line of credit, investment, etc. So it is $100 billion. That is the total investment that we have raised. And around something like 5 lakh crore worth of projects are either being executed or shall be executed in the very future. And the best part of the news is that most of these projects will be completed in the next 2 to 3 years. The bad part of the news is, especially for those who commute, 2 things are going to happen. More projects are going to come in because, well, we should have done all this in the 70s and we missed it out. So secondly, Mumbai will see a huge amount of redevelopment because city is old. And so private sector development shall continue. And I think that is something, what needs to be enforced in that would be better pollution control norms, better site clearance, and thereby prevent the dust and the air pollution that happens. But that is something which is going to continue in a big way. And as these primary or secondary sectors of the economy, as they keep on doing, so the tertiary sector will automatically grow, which I'm sure all of you are experts at. So this is the overall picture. The overall picture is this: now there is a grand plan, and that grand plan is to make MMR into a $1 trillion economy by 2047. The subparts of that plan have already been worked out. The target is 300 million by 2030. 7 drivers of growth, 8 policy shifts, and 31 projects have been identified. I'll tell you, some projects are very simple. Like, for instance, development of the, there is a special development zone at that Aksa, Manori, etc., which is now totally undeveloped. So that MMRDA has been appointed as the agency which will prepare the special development plan and which will develop that area, so we'll build that. Development of Vadala, development of remaining areas of BKC, then development of big land parcels which the government does have, like the Worli land parcel at Kurla, development of various airports, development of the Vadhavan port. So port-centric development is one of the growth drivers. Slum improvement, affordable housing is one of the growth drivers, Then providing the ease of living. So it cannot just be roads, business, and buildings. And it has to be, what do you do at night? What do you do after you come back from office? So you need good schools, you need good colleges, and therefore an EduCity is being built up. You need cultural amenities. So Mumbai is already the entertainment hub. It is already the film capital. And so all these things have been made a part of the plan, and I would actually invite all of you to have a good read of that master document that has been prepared. And any comments on that would be welcome. I think I have spoken long enough to an audience as august as this, and I think it would be a good time to, put a stop to my speech. I thank the Motilal Oswal Group and Motilal Oswal ji once again for inviting me to this event and giving me this opportunity of addressing all of you. And I thank all of you for giving me such a patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause for Dr. Mukherjee? And thank you so much for sharing details on the projects undertaken by MMRDA under your leadership. So with that, we'll now open the floor for the Q&A session. So if we have any questions from the audience, please raise your hands. We have one question there. Yeah.
Hello. So thank you very much for the nice, overview which you gave about the future of Mumbai. I'm here. So I'm here. Here.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you for the wonderful talk on the future of Mumbai. I hope I'll be alive till that time. I've been here from childhood, and the condition has only become worse. Giving a simple example of BKC, just travel by a suburban train and get down at Bandra East and try to come to BKC in the morning or try to go back in the evening. You built up cycle tracks. Was there any viability study which was done? On 2 occasions that tracks were built and they were broken back again because there were no cycles available. So you get down at Bandra East, if there's a cycling company which is giving a rent-a-bike kind of a service, or MMRDA could have started that service, then probably cycling tracks would have been used. So it's a lack of planning or lack of foresight, but it's a nightmare to get out of BKC or get into BKC in the peak time. Thank you.
So you are essentially asking me 2 questions. Why is it a nightmare to get out of BKC? That is the first question. And second question, you are asking me, why did we construct the cycle track, or why did we remove the cycle track? Which is the question?
Both.
Okay, I'll answer both the questions. I'll answer the second question first. Or rather, I'll answer why is it a nightmare to get into BKC. See, I'm very happy, in fact, this question has come up. And this is a subject which everybody has to take it on. See, Mumbai, if it has to be a financial capital, then Mumbai has to be, treated as a financial capital. And if BKC is emerging as a financial center, then BKC has to be treated as a financial center. What has happened is this, that over a period of time, see, BKC is a part of Mumbai. And the planning of BKC has been done like other cities like Hong Kong, Singapore, etc. have been done. And the whole planning is based on walkability. The first change which happened was way back in 2008, when Mumbai was subject to a terrorist attack. And after that, before that, no building in BKC, with the exception of the diamond boards because of a very particular reason, but with that exception, no building had any compound wall. And since it did not have a compound wall, therefore people are supposed to walk through the buildings. A very interesting thing is in BKC, we do not sell land, we sell FSI. Land remains with MMRDA. We sell the FSI, we sell you the air, right, and the right to build on that land. So people are supposed to walk through. But at that point of time, because of the security concerns, therefore, compound walls have been built. And since the compound walls have been built, therefore, that through and through movement of people has stopped. That is one. Second thing is that at that particular point of time, MMRDA so it's like this, that I invest in a particular stock. And the best investors in the world have recommended the stock, and they also buy the stock. And it falls. So only astrologers can see the future, others can only assess. And people thought that, the people will come and they will use the bicycles, and therefore cycle tracks should be constructed. But cycle tracks were constructed based on a preliminary study which was done on that point of time, but essentially, to promote good health and cycles, etc. And after being construction, the use of the cycle track was next to naught. The use of the cycle track was next to naught. For those who know the Poisson distribution, they would realize that if you reduce the cycle track took away 2 lanes, 1 lane on either side. And therefore, if you are going to reduce the corridor, anyway it is going to get congested. So that is the first thing. So because of this, the carrying capacity of BKC has been reduced by 1/3. And now we are therefore opening the cycle track. And I am happy to tell you that we have done a survey and study, and we have appointed a very, very reputed agency to do that. And we are very hopeful that the agency has done its work well. But that will create one extra lane, and that will give some ease for the traffic. That is one. Second is cycles also did not work because of the Mumbai weather. See, there is always a talk that we will make Mumbai like this and we will make Mumbai like that. And we go to Europe and we think that, oh, hamare aisa yahan hona chahiye. The fact of the matter is this is India, this is Mumbai, and here the weather is different. So London 10 years back and London today are 2 different cities, because there has been so much immigration in London that they are absolutely struggling to cope. Mumbai gets people from all across the country and the world. It is everybody's city. There is no entry access. So therefore, there's a lot of congestion. Now, because of the weather, the cycle tracks have been used to naught. So we have now taken that call that we will, open that particular lane and give it. The reason that there is traffic jam in BKC is, of course, stems from reasons which are not in BKC, but which are outside the BKC. And that reason is this, that essentially BKC is designed for small cars. It is not designed for trucks. It is not designed because it is a financial center. So people in the financial center will come by cars. Some of them will come in company buses. But it is not designed for large ST buses, neither is it designed for, dumpers and trucks, etc. to cross in. But as the entire Mumbai gets a makeover, so therefore there are some sacrifices that everybody has to make. And since the Sion Bridge has been closed, and it will be closed for 2 years, that entire traffic has been diverted through BKC. And because of that, BKC is highly congested. Line 2B shall be coming, the BKC line 2B shall be commissioned by the end of 26. So as that happens, for instance, when we give you direct access to the diamond boards, etc., a lot of the traffic will move on to the metro. And that will automatically reduce the number of cars in the road. And then the Sion Road will get complete. That will reduce the number of cars in the road. And as an immediate measure, the creation of one additional lane will make it easier for people to get out of BKC.
Thank you so much, sir. We have one more question from the center table. Could you please raise your hand?
Thank you for sharing your insights. I stay close to Coastal Road, definitely a miracle that we are experiencing. But my question is, every year with monsoon, some part of our infrastructure just drains away. I don't know what is the solution to this never-ending problem of internal roads, and whatever the problem is, why isn't it up to the mark? What are we doing to change the tender mechanism there so that they have a simple thing like blasting roads? Indians have been building road in the Middle East and South Africa and everywhere, but our internal roads somehow just does not have any solution.
So that is a very nice question. Why are internal roads of Mumbai not good? That's the question, right? But I think you're asking the wrong person. You should ask that to the Municipal Commissioner of Mumbai. And I am the Metropolitan Commissioner. I look after the larger projects. And I think the MC would be the right person to answer that question, what flood management mechanisms they do. I have served in the BMC, but I, again, haven't handled the internal road department or the stormwater road department. So I really don't think I have the competence to answer that question.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. We do have time for more questions from the audience.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mukherjee. So just wanted to know one thing on, you mentioned about different, this side, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
So, sir, my question pertained to the Mumbai Port Trust land. So it, many times it comes up in discussion, means how to develop that. And there have been attempts also, if I remember right, in mid-2010s. There was a Rani Jadhav committee report also very detailed in how to develop that. And it's a huge parcel, right? Because Mumbai is definitely a land-starved city. So where are we getting stuck there, and what are the efforts being taken? Because if we open up that portion, so I think a lot of challenges, especially on the South Mumbai side, can be solved.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. In fact, the eastern waterfront and the eastern part of the city, which is under the possession of the Mumbai Port Trust, that is a project that needs to be taken up and that needs to be done. And when we did our master planning, that time we have taken that as the most key project if we are going to go towards our target. The Mumbai Port Trust, the Rani Jadhav report was there. After that, a lot of work has been done. In fact, the master plan has been prepared. The Mumbai Port Trust has been appointed as a special planning authority. Now the Niti Aayog has taken that matter up and they have proposed a mechanism. Currently, the whole thing is with Government of India and things have not moved up. So they have taken up that mechanism that that project should be, perhaps executed by the government of the state, because the government of the state has more resources, people, and expertise in the real estate sector. The Port Trust looks after ports. So that matter is at Government of India level. So there are a few very important matters of Mumbai which are at Government of India level. One is the development of slums on railway land. Second is the development of slums on Government of India land, which is a very sizable amount of number. And the third would be, or rather, I think the first one would be the development of the Mumbai Port Trust. And that is something which is very important for the city.
Thank you so much, sir. Do we have more questions from the audience? We have one question at the end. Could you please pass the mic? Sir, it would be great if you can stand up and ask the question.
Thanks, sir. My name is Vishal and I can't see. I lost my sight 20 years back. What about making the infrastructure more disabled friendly, A, and B, what about greener pastures?
Can you come closer or take the mic closer? I'm not able to understand.
So my name is Vishal. I can't see. I lost my sight 20 years back. So my question is two. One, can we make our infrastructure more differently abled friendly? Like if you're talking about other financial centers in the world. I've lived in Hong Kong and Singapore. They're more friendly. Second, what about greener pastures, open spaces for people for just natural recreation, right? Back in the day, we had a lot of open spaces. some has been taken away by metro and some by other stuff, we see less and less of greener pastures and open spaces. Any thoughts about these 2 points?
I think that the question that you have raised is an extremely important question. And I personally feel, I am a doctor, and I personally feel that all of us are going to be geriatric at some point of time. So I might be very, very physically fit today, but there will be a time when I perhaps might not be able to walk as well as I walk today. I might have a problem of balance. And I think that infrastructure should be, made in such a way that it is fit for the differently able. In the infrastructure that we are doing, we are taking efforts. In fact, there is a law that mandates that infrastructure should be fit for the differently able. But in that, the tendency is more towards the physically handicapped, physically differently able people. Like if you have a difficulty in walking, so you have ramps and all that. But the infrastructure that we are building, we are doing our best to make it fit for the differently able people, and we are absolutely open to any suggestion that can make it even better. That is one. Second, the issue of open spaces. So, this city is really starved of space, and the city is really starved of open spaces also. So that is why we have been trying to create open spaces. Now, one good news is that the race course will be made into, along with the Mumbai Coastal Road, they will all be joined together, and that will give us something like 300 hectares of open space, within the city. So some sort of open space like that is being created. A lot of open space has been taken up for metro construction or other constructions. But these open spaces continue to be open spaces, and I assure you that once the metro work is done, then these metro casting yards will all be dismantled, and they will all be taken back, and the open spaces are to be restored back to the condition in which they were taken.
Thank you, sir. Just a suggestion that you should study the master plan for the City of London. That's the world's most accessible, friendly city for differently abled.
Yeah, I'm happy again you raised that question. We do have a direct connect with the Transport of London, and we visit them, they visit us. They are in fact one of the advisors that we have, the Transport for London and the Transport Department of London, as we are doing this transport infrastructure around the country.
Thank you so much, sir. We have one question in the center.
Hello, sir. Excellent insight into the work that MMRDA is doing. Sir, you mentioned about the ring road infrastructure that Mumbai is getting in next 2 to 3 years. So I would like to know the other municipalities in and around Mumbai. The question was about internal road infrastructure. So are the other infrastructures in and around other municipalities around Mumbai, they are also getting the same ring road connectivity?
Yes. In fact, most of our work is outside Mumbai. MMRDA works in Mumbai only in larger projects which the BMC would not like to take. So that is what MMRDA does within the city of Mumbai. Most of our work is outside the city. So like we are building roads in Thane, we are building roads in Raigad district, Palghar district, etc. But the only point is that MMRDA does the larger infrastructure. The internal roads is looked after by the urban local bodies in that area.